Never ever underestimate your own ability, my gorgeous Pisces, indeed. You know, this December you are going to have a quiet, magical moment. And it's almost as if you just haven't been giving enough credit to yourself. And you know, this could basically manifest and it could happen because there's so many things in your lives. You know, there's so many things going on that are not directly connected to your life that have been affecting your way of thinking, that have been affecting your way of planning, but most importantly, it affected your way of realizing something so significant and so important when it comes to you, my gorgeous Piscean, when it comes to the month of December, indeed, because something is about to open up for you. And I need you to understand that this is important, but also at the same time, you have to stand your ground and you have to give a credit to yourself, and you have to be as open-minded as you possibly can. The 17th of December, it's going to have a really big moment. Something is going to happen and you're going to see, you know, a very specific situation, and this is how things are going to start, because you are at the same time going to have an important confirmation, which is few days later down on the line going to come up, going to pop up, and it's going to stare at you right in your face, you know, and you will know that it's pretty much so to do with you giving credit to yourself, but also realizing, you know, that there is a very specific opportunity that it's going to come up, and this is to do with the actual your future planning, but it's also to do with you giving credit to yourself, but it's also at the same time, more importantly, it's to do with you realizing that at the same time you are going to have a really powerful vibration throughout the actual month of December. And on one hand, you know, things are going to seem like really unusual, really strange, really different, and that in itself is going to reflect to you on you in a particular way. But that doesn't mean that you have to go along with that particular vibration and energy, because that same energy is also going to bring something very unique within you, something very specific within you. So this is what the 17th of December is actually all about. It's about your uniqueness. It's about things that make you feel good. It's about things that make you feel happy, but it's also about you waiting for the certain moment in time where there is no more waiting, my gorgeous Piscean. Now it's time for you to go on the next stage of your life, next step of your life. And very strongly what I'm referring to and what I'm talking about, it's going to be pretty much so confirmed to you within the last 7 days of December. The last 7 days of December, you're just simply going to have enough of the certain part of your life. You're simply going to have enough. But this is going to be the good one, because that in itself is going to start very important moment in time when it comes to your personal projection. And in that moment in time, without you even realizing, you're going to start projecting your energy towards something very specific in your life. And by the time you get to the actual March, April and May 2022, this is when this is actually going to have a really important stage. This is when this is going to become a really important stage in your life where you're almost going to be almost certainly really you're going to be able to see what a progress you've actually made. So it's all about giving a credit to yourself, but you need to understand, as I said before, it's about this strange vibration and energy that it's going to make you feel like a little bit worried, a little bit negative, a little bit uncertain. You just have to go over that, because if you kind of get lost in that particular energy, you're only going to allow your own vibration to be taken away from you. You know, this is the time when these are really trying times that we're all going through. There's a challenge behind every single corner, but you must not let that to take the better of you. You are going to have a great and amazing, mind-blowing reminder of maybe how things used to be in your life. You will be able to connect to that particular reflection reflection when it comes to certain things in your past, but yet again, that is going to bring you the great reminder to not forget who you are, but most certainly to not forget about your own path, because you have found yourself being just a little bit like a kind of like unable to move on. But this is all like kind of delusional, you see. And I'm not saying that you're delusional, please don't get me wrong, but you will see an illusion. Maybe I should have said it's an illusion, because you will realize that this all what's happening right now, it's going to bring you the great accomplishment into your life. So throughout this month, you know, pay attention to things that make you happy. Your own emotions are going to be like talking to your own subconscious mind, is going to be talking to you so much. Look at this opportunity here that I'm talking about. This is really important. But then at the same time, you know, someone who is so specific in your life, somebody who means to you so much, whether this is your family member, whether this is your best friend, or it's somebody who you look up to, it's also going to kind of be able to, you're going to find this person so beneficial, because they are going to do something. They're going to, you know, make something. They're going to manifest something, and that in itself, it's going to inspire you. It's not so much like about the advice, but it's about doing the right thing and trusting yourself, and that in itself is going to increase your personal vibration. And where things didn't make sense, they are going to start make sense. This is why this month of December is so important when it comes to you, my gorgeous Piscelini, indeed. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Pisces, and it's for December 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card forecast is for you, my gorgeous Piscelini, and it's for December 2021. It's an important time, and it's an important month. You know, it's an important time for you to remember that, you know, sorry, as we are reaching the end of the actual year, is the 12th month of the year. So this is the specific energy that we have about every single month, indeed. When we come to the actual June, you know, and then we are getting closer and closer to the end of the year, this particular vibration and energy becomes more powerful, and it helps us in return to move on with our lives. But the more you trust yourself, the more you must not doubt yourself, and you have to give credit to yourself, because there is something also a very kind of like a weird you're gonna become aware of something really weird, really bizarre this month, you know. And it's pretty much so, you have got a number 92 in numerology, so you are gonna become aware of something really smart, you're gonna become aware of something really like kind of weird, something really unusual, something really kind of crazy, but it's more about the confirmation than anything else. And that in itself is the moment in time when you're going to realize and learn that you need to be wise. There are specific people that you can talk, there are specific people that you can't talk. With a certain people you can say everything you feel, but with certain people you most certainly should not do this, because you will realize your own how wise you are. You will realize the extent of your own like a psychic feelings, because you know there is also going to be like confirmation that, you know, something that you have been doing, something that some kind of lesson that you learned not that long ago, it's also going to be playing an important role here, and that in itself is going to be even more magnificent when it comes to your personal vibration. But this you need to remember, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's a very, very important month indeed. Number 92, you know, it is a lot going to be about you, kind of like I'm not going to lie to you, it is going to be like maybe the first 9 days in particular. Oh no, you're gonna be worrying a lot. Please try to take this reading as constructive as you possibly can. Within the first 9 days of December, you are going to be worrying quite a lot. There is no need to worry. There is absolutely no point in worrying, because by worrying you just let your vibration to be taken away. Each day it's a little bit of your own vibration and energy and power taken away by by worrying, because by worrying at the same time, without even realizing, you're creating so many more blockages and obstacles in your life. What you need to remember within the first 9 days of December, you know, something is going to get you maybe like a little bit worried, maybe a little bit like uncertain, and that in itself is going to start the process of you worrying. But you just need to remember your own power, and the worry is not going to change absolutely anything. What you need to understand, it's about you deciding your next step. If you start feeling worried, if you feel really negative, if you feel really uncertain within the first 9 days, these are only feelings, emotions that you can easily go over by actually try to focusing on your next step. Do that for me, please. Try to focus on your next step. This is a magical moment that I'm talking about. This is a mind-blowing big mama moment that I'm talking about, because the next step that you're going to start thinking about, it's going to open up something within you, something really remarkable, which is going to, on another hand, really point you towards the certain direction. This is what I need you to remember, because what is actually going to happen when it comes to you deciding your next step, you see, you're going to start this process, you know, this very, very powerful and illuminating process, that by the time you get to the actual 3 last days of December, you know, you're going to have an absolutely remarkable confirmation that you don't have to be worried, you don't have to be negative, you don't have to be anxious. This was all part of the process. This was all part of the progress. This was all part of your personal challenge. But there are things that we do in our lives when we are like that, and we just sit and just look things around which are absolutely crazy at this moment in time. There is no point just to sit and just absorbing the negativity, because it will take the better of you. But at the same time, please try to understand me that that same vibration and energy, it's actually going to work in your favor, because as soon as you reflect on that specific part of your life, my lord, you know, you're gonna have your caterpillar, a butterfly moment. You know, these little wings are gonna grow behind you. It's all about you giving credit to yourself, but realizing that this life is really weird, it's bizarre, it's strange, it's very unusual and rather complex sometimes. But also, you know, you're gonna realize how important it is to stay on your own path. Do not live a dream of other people. Do not do what other people want you to do. You just most certainly should do only things that make sense to you. And this is the way you preserve your uniqueness, preserve your vibration, preserve your energy. But most importantly, this is the way you stay on your own path. My gorgeous Pisceans, this is very, very important. So pay attention to this first 9 days of December indeed, you know. And also you need to kind of like there is a lot that is going to be on your mind this month, you know, and you're going to be challenged quite a lot. And I told you already, you know, be wise and be clever. Just understand this, you know, you are going to have a very specific information about you, very specific information about something quite specific in your life that hasn't got anything to do with you or your life in general. This you should keep to yourself. This is the part of your spiritual journey. You only talk about this to people who you really understand and really know. Otherwise, do not waste your energy, because they're going to be quite a few like different people with opposed opinions to you. But then again, it's like basically there is no point, because you know what you know, and you know that what you know is actually the part of your own dimension, the part of your own vibration, and you know that that's right. So just like kind of if somebody's trying to kind of challenge you a little bit, you know, you just do anything to kind of iron the situation, do anything to kind of to go above, to rise above it, rather than just let your energy be taken away, because this is like a kind of part of your own challenge indeed. But also on another hand, you need to understand throughout the month of December, take your time to think before you act. This is very important, to take your time to think before you act. And also it's pretty much so about the expansion of ideas that you are going to have. have when it comes to your personal growth, you know, and in particular when it comes to the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st of December. There are certain ideas that are going to come to you that are going to be pretty much so connected to your life in a form of the actual expansion. What do you need to do exactly in order to kind of like find yourself on the right path? Whatever you're doing right now, this is something a little bit of beneficial that is going to start manifesting in your life that you should pay attention to. Like we have to keep going in this life, we have to keep moving in this life, and we have to both spiritually grow but also grow with things that we are doing, because it's to do with a certain learning process that you're going to need to pay attention to and learn about something in order to take this specific part of your life on the next level. First of all, you are going to need to have, and you are going to have this learning experience that I'm talking about right now, but at the same time, you know, you will realize that the growth always means leaving something behind, because by the time you get to the actual last part of December, you will strongly, like big mama moment time, you know, you're gonna really strongly which specific part of your life karmically came to an end, and it is just not gonna make sense to you whatsoever, but you will know what to do, you know, most certainly. So it's all about, you see this, you will know what to do. It's important because it's just basically, on one hand, you're going to become aware of some kind of accomplishment that you made at that very moment in time, and this is really going to slide in rather nicely with this, because you're going to realize what do you need to do in order to make the like a really huge, massive, ultimate change in your life. But this is not time to act or just take action, baby, but it's time to actually be pretty much so, you know, to actually plan, to think, to try to reflect. And the more you reflect on your life and your future, just without worrying too much, you will see how energy is actually going to start flowing indeed. So you know what you also need to understand, that you know, when it comes to the actual your own strength, you know, in new beginnings, you know, just to understand that you do have a strength, you know, you do have a power, you do have that relevant balance, but also you have got a cycle, very important cycle, which is about to restart. And the cycle that it's going to restart, it's going to happen specifically on the 27th of December 2021. This is a really big moment indeed, because on the 27th of December 2021 there is the whole new portal about to open, purely because the new cycle is about to restart. And this is specifically to do with a very heavy stage and heavy period in your life over the last 10 months that took the better of you, that drained your energy so much, and you did the right thing, you did everything you had to do, everything you needed to do. So now this is going to be big mama moment karmic reward. So it's a really great time to actually pay attention to what is about to actually how you're gonna feel, because you're gonna like kind of feel a change almost immediately. You're gonna feel happiness almost immediately. You know, this is to do with a new cycle, but also at the same time it's the great time when it comes to the personal luck. It's an important time when it comes to karma. It's also like the more you give, the more you're gonna get back. The more you focus on people and help out people, the more you're gonna get back, you know, both emotionally and materialistically. But on another hand, you know, it's about the actual chance, very important chance. You know, the bottom line, my gorgeous Piscelini, the bottom line is like one of the most important things, that by the end of December there is a very important chance that you are going to have, very important moment that you are going to have. And this in itself, you know, you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, I deserve this so much. And that, my babies, it's all about a very important moment of justice that you are going to have at the same time. You're gonna feel a very strong, powerful moment of justice. This is gonna mean to you so much, and it's to do with the waiting game. It's to do with the waiting, but also at the same time, what you need to remember, that when you become aware of this moment of justice, you know, this is going to mean to you so much. At the same time, you know, what you're going to learn out of that situation is going to be more important than anything. One of the most important lessons of your life you are going to learn here, you are going to get here, you are going to receive here. But at the same time, you know, it's about it's like an advice, you know, it's an advice to pay attention to, because you're going to become also aware of the advice that wasn't directly directly said to you, but it's going to happen through the power of the actual synchronicity that you are going to become aware of it. So it doesn't really matter whether it was said to you directly or you just become aware of it. You know, it doesn't really matter the way it's going to travel into your life, into your dimension. It's meant to be there, and you will know this at the same time. Okay, so on another hand, my gorgeous Piscelini, you know, it's just basically this is not a great time to actually start new kind of like a projects, you know. It's like pretty much so to do, as I said, a lot about the planning, a lot about the thinking, but not like a starting really right now, not starting throughout this month, because you are going to have a little bit of a difficulties when it comes to launching new projects. So you can do it, but then you're just going to have to karmically and spiritually pick up on that later. So you just go with the flow. You just go with the planning, you just go with this vibration, and first of all you pay attention to your mind and things that make you feel happy and things that you want to do and things that you want to achieve. So you will see how many ideas you're going to have. So this is very fruitful in many different ways, this particular time that you will go through. So you need to make the most of it, because this December is a preparation for something really big and really important later on. So this is why you need to remember to not to rush into anything whatsoever. And also on another hand, you know, it is just basically you know, sorry, when it comes to the certain dishonesty in your life, you know, someone was maybe dishonest with you and that made them unreliable and untrustworthy in a certain ways, you know, and you did not like it, you know, this affected you. But then again, at the same time, there is the actual, someone is going to come through, someone is going to come forward, and it's going to help you to see the positive situation out of the negative situation. This is going to mean to you so much, because it's at the same time going to be connected to the actual loss of peace of mind when it comes to like a personal optimism and excitedness, you know. So somebody is just kind of like somebody in your life made you feel really kind of really negative, and they surprised you. But then again, on another hand, another person who mean to you so much, somebody very powerful, somebody kind of like a very spiritual, and at the same time somebody very kind of like a very spot on with their life, somebody who you really look up to quite a lot, is going to open your eyes towards something when it comes to that specific situation, you know. Because it kind of, the bottom line is, this particular person, negative person that I mentioned a few minutes ago, just basically it caused a certain inconsistency in your life, because it affected your energy. And this is brilliant, because this is slowly coming to an end, you see. So this is why this is so good. But on another hand, you just need to understand that focus on the next step, focus on the career. For those of you who are retired, you just focus on the next step, because there is this certain blockage that affected you, and it started affecting your way of thinking, it started affecting your way of planning, it started affecting your optimism. So it's very important to learn how to stay on top of things by focusing on the next step, no matter what. The waiting is over, especially when it comes to you, my gorgeous Piscelini, because there is a lot that you're going to be able to move on in your life when it comes to the month of December. But you're not going to be able to be you're not going to be able to notice that straight away, you know, in December. Sometimes, you know, the month needs to pass in order to see and in order to understand the wiseness and things that have been going through. And also when it comes to our personal projection, things don't happen overnight, but there is a lot that we planned along the way, along our path. So this is why this month is going to be so important for you indeed. And on another hand, you know, you just need to remember to never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true, you know. You need to also understand that it's so important to bring balance into your life, okay? In between things that you do, like a career, in between the personal life, try to reward yourself, try to reconnect with the nature as much as you can. Now it's more important, my gorgeous Piscelini, than ever. When it comes to the actual health, when it comes to nutrition, you're also going to have a quite sensitive. Stomach and your digestion is going to be quite sensitive throughout the month of December. And also you're going to find yourself being a little bit tired, you know, maybe a little bit nervous, because a lot is going to be going on. But at the same time, you just have to keep on going through and reminding yourself that the negative things that are really affecting you around you, these too shall pass. This is what you need to remind yourself. But at the same time, I highly suggest you to get like a natural dose of B vitamin complex. B vitamin complex to take every single morning, and the B12 needs to be made as a methylcobalamin, which is the natural version of this particular vitamin, and also folic acid needs to be made as in a folate way. So these are the natural versions of this rather than take chemicals. And to take this actually every single morning, it's brilliant because it's going to boost your energy, it's going to boost your immune system, it's going to be fantastic when it comes to stress, worrying, but also it's going to be fantastic for so many other things. But above all, when it comes to your situation, it's going to be beneficial for your entire digestive system. And also, of course, that I'm going to tell you to get organic acerola cherry powder or organic acerola cherry capsules, organic Camu Camu powder, organic Camu Camu capsules. Either of those is going to be fine to take as a form of natural vitamin C every single day, alongside vitamin D3 and alongside natural zinc. This is the combination of vitamins and minerals that I would like you to take, because it's going to boost your immune system and it's going to make you feel so much better. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Piscelinis, the 1st of December will be quite the first date that I would need you to pay attention to. But before I even go there, I would highly recommend you to get something like a chakra pendant. Is like a must. It's almost immediately going to boost your vibration, boost your energy, because of the perfect balance of crystals that we have here. But also it's going to be superb for December, January and February, because it's all about talking, communicating, coming out of ourselves, you know, saying the right things, doing the right things. Sometimes a lot is going on in this life, you know, as you know, but there are a lot of people that end up being on our path and they're so kind of dark and energy draining, and when that happens, sadly, they steal our energy and then they manipulate us in this particular way, because we don't say what we want to say. We say things and then we go home and then we say like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, you know what I mean? So this really helps you with that particular balance, this gorgeous chakra pendant, and it comes with sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Piscelini, you're also supporting my channel as well. So the 1st of December is like a big moment, you know. It's just like, you know, something from the moment you wake up, something is not going to seem right, baby. Something is just not going to seem right. Something is going to be on your mind, and some kind of confirmation, but it's not the first time that this came across your mind. But the very first thing in the morning on the 1st of December, 2nd and 3rd of December, it's all going to be about their 1st, 2nd and 3rd. It's all about you realizing something, you know, some kind of illusion, some kind of imagination. But at the same time, you just need to understand, to be honest with yourself. It's now more important than ever to be honest with yourself. You can only move on with this life in the right direction, but especially at this moment in time, when you trust yourself, no matter how crazy, mental, weird, bizarre, strange, unusual things seems to be, because they are. You just have to keep your own balance. No one else can do this for you. You need to pay attention to this. It's important, okay? It's very deep, it's very complex, but it's significant. So it's all about you realizing this, like some kind of imagination, something very unrealistic, you know, and a rather unrealistic part of your life, but also at the same time you're going to become aware of the certain deception, certain obscurity, certain trickery, certain dishonesty, you know, and that in itself is pretty much so going to be connected to the certain danger, certain bad influence, insincerity, but also you will become rather cautious at this moment in time. But this is an important part of your spiritual journey. Even the kitty says yes. This is an important part of your spiritual journey, because you are going to become aware of the cautious, you're going to become cautious of being taken advantage of. So my gorgeous Piscelini, however this works, is going to work great, you know, because it is going to pretty much start redirecting you slightly, and I like it. And when you feel this redirection that I'm talking about, see, it's about you carrying on with your life. It's about you moving on, and it's about you almost instantly feeling okay, and almost instantly something is going to be on your mind. Almost instantly someone is going to be on your mind, and almost instantly the certain very important confirmation conversation that you will need to have will be on your mind. It is also a rather significant moment when you're going to realize that, you know, the more you communicate, the more important this is going to be, but also at the same time it's planning, working as a part of the team, communicating, trying yourself in all sorts of opportunities. This is going to really nicely direct you towards the important part of your life, but you're also going to see what slowly came to an end. It's going to put you on an important spiritual quest. You will just want more out of life because you will realize it's either that way, no baby, no, dark Lala, or it's either that way. You can't see it, but you know that this is going to make so much more sense. Too dark over here, it makes sense over here. All the lots of uncertainties, but you will know what the right thing is to do, because you know your own passion, it's not going to lead you astray, okay? But on another hand, it's the end of the rather like it's a situation that doesn't make sense in your life anyway, but you just have to give a credit to yourself, feeling, emotions, intuition, indeed. Okay, so now this is gonna really pretty much, so within the first 3 days of December, you know, this is these 3 days are absolutely so powerful when it comes to your own destiny. Just remember that when it comes to your own destiny, especially the 3rd of December, it's going to be like, oh my lord, the 3rd of December, it's going to like show you something. Then the 11th of December, it's going to show you something. Then the 17th of December is going to show you something. Then again on the 27th of December, you're going to have a strong sign yet again when it comes to your own destiny. So this is the information that you need to pay attention to, because it's about to bring a mind-blowing, enormous impact on your life. It's going to bring you an outcome, an absolutely mind-blowing advancement when it comes to your life. You know, at the same time, it's to do with an important conclusion that you're going to have within the first 3 days in December. But also at the same time, even more importantly, it's about you realizing that you're approaching the end of a very difficult stage and very difficult issue in your life, which is going to resolve in between the 1st and the 11th of December. In between the 1st and the 11th of December, there are a lot of like unexpected situations going to occur, you know, and these unexpected situations that are going to occur in between the 1st and the 11th of December, you know, it's going to require from you, look at this, in order to achieve the happiness, you know, this is all about the opportunities and the paths that you're going to find yourself. But you're going to need to be really wise, you're going to need to be really clever, and you're going to need to pay attention to your own spiritual judgment, because the serene knowledge is going to take over. But on another hand, you're going to be rather spiritually penetrated here like there is no tomorrow. Some kind of hidden emotion is going to come to the surface, but then again, this is going to point out and pinpoint towards you being very much so practical with your life. But in order to make a really significant decision, you're going to need to be analytical as well. What exactly in your life it's making you like too frequently restrained? At that moment in time, you're going to make an amazing progress when it comes to you feeling very great, very content, and you doing the best possible thing to avoid something really dark and negative and low and weird and bizarre, low vibration, no baby, no, but also doing the right thing when it comes to like you, your future, people in your family, your family members. You know, you're going to do something so important here, you know, but it's just sometimes you just need to understand that, you know, sometimes you just have to swim against the current, and this is like along those lines as well. You also, you know, these first 3 days of December, it's just going to bring you growth, you know, when it comes to your hard work as well. But it's something that you have been trying to achieve and waiting for the last 7 or 8 months. You know, it's the progress, and that in itself is going to require from you to reorganize things a little bit in order to a reorganization is going to consist of an important dealings as well. Okay, the second important date, and before I go there, I would highly recommend you something like a black obsidian. It's like A must, because it's one of the most powerful crystals to actually protect your energy against negative people, negative vibration, negative feelings, negative emotions. There's a lot going to be going on throughout the December, and you can easily pick up on this energy from people, and that can in return make you feel the way they feel, and you don't want to feel the way they feel because you want to pay attention to your own balance. So every time when you feel spaced out, negative, weird and unusual, I would highly suggest you wear black obsidian, because it really nicely just brings you down. This comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Pisces, you're also supporting my channel as well. The second important date is going to be on the 11th of December. This is all about, it's just basically, it's about a certain indefinite delay that you're going to become aware of, and this delay that you're going to become aware of is just basically going to make you feel like a little bit negative, a little bit fearful, and it's going to bring a certain apprehension into your life. But then that in itself is going to be playing a very important role, because it's going to connect you with somebody who really understands you. Somebody who really understands you is going to tell you like a big mama moment on the 11th, 12th and the 13th of December. It's all about you reconnecting with somebody who understands you so well, somebody in your life, somebody who you like, somebody who understands you, and they are sharing a very interesting experience with you as well. So that person is going to be playing an important role, because they're going to help you out to see what you are unrealistic about. So therefore, another confirmation that it's going to be brilliant, which is going to open your eyes what you are unrealistic about, but at least you will kind of also have a very strong sense of personal security when it comes to your finances, because it's going to come from someone really wise and clever and intelligent, and somebody who you trust so much, because that in itself is going to, on one hand, going to help you out, but then on another hand, it's going to really pretty much so gonna show you what do you need to learn, something very specific that you're gonna need to learn in order to put more energy towards towards a certain part of your life. But it's pretty much so to do with you learning kind of new ideas, by the same time knowing what is the right thing to do as well. This in itself is brilliant, because it's going to bring you a really important swift activity. The 11th of December, it's also going to be so significant when it comes to the message, an important message, and the message is about the sudden progress in your life, which is gonna really surprise you. Sudden progress in your life, sudden movement, and that is gonna require from you to make a really important decision. But then again, you will just instantly know what to do. Just remember that when it comes to the 11th of December, there is some kind of a karmic lesson that you have gone through and learned, over the last 36 months, that is just going to play an absolutely giant, enormous role here. Huge lessons that you have learned, will be playing an absolutely mind-blowing, enormous role here. Just remember that. The third date, my gorgeous Pisces, it's going to be on the 28th of December. Now, this is a big mama moment, because it's all about the invitation and opportunity that you're going to become aware of, that it's about to have a really starting stages. Something is going to arrive into your life, and that is going to open your eyes, and it's going to make you aware of the opportunity that is coming up. It's going to give you a chance to advance yourself and to do with what you wanted to do for a while. Something rather attractive is going to take place, but something is going to be requested from you that you're going to find quite challenging, and you're absolutely right. And that in itself is going to create a certain obstacle, and the answer to that obstacle is your devotion in terms of seeing exactly which specific part of your life require more of your own kind of services and efforts towards something very specific. It's to do with the services and efforts towards the very specific goal. It's going to be required from you. It's going to be obvious. It's going to be almost impossible to ignore, and that in itself, my gorgeous Pisces, is going to be very significant in between the 28th of December and the end of that month. And somebody who you trust so much is yet again going to be playing an important role, because it's going to confirm something to you, but it's not going to be direct. something they're gonna tell you something that is gonna match up the situation and is gonna confirm you even more. So a lot is gonna be going on the 28th of December and until the end of that month, when it comes to you being kind of like a lot of things are going to be taking our attention. No matter what's happening, stay committed to the path ahead. Stay committed to the task at hand. There is a challenge, big challenge going to be there, and something is just going to be taking attention away from what you should be doing. So make sure that you stay committed to the task at hand, because what you're doing right now is going to bring you also success into your life. You have to commit to the task at hand, and it's also going to bring you helpful outlook, and also on another hand, new opportunities, new options, you know, and also hopeful outlook, and also like a new people in your life. You will realize that this is going to start bringing new people in your life that are going to be playing an important role later on. So it's all about you staying loyal to yourself, but also realizing that you are in for really wise investment when it comes to your life indeed. So now my gorgeous Piscelini, 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 Piscelini. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Piscelini, Piscelini. Midnight, know the sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She's smiling alone. In the lamplight, the withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Midnight, all alone in the moonlight, I can dream all the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the Piscelini lives again. My gorgeous Piscelini. So now I'm just going to sing. I have my moments. 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 My gorgeous Piscelini, please forgive me. So the first part of December, I need you to pay attention to, oh my God, you're gonna feel like you need to rush towards something, and if something doesn't make sense, you say, no baby, no. Just avoid some kind of devilish situation here. If you feel rushed towards something, just avoid it. If it doesn't make sense, say bye-bye. Okay, very important indeed. The mid part of December, I really like it because it's pretty much so connected to the end of the challenging time, the beginning of. Things are gonna start looking up, which is going to bring you a welcome relief, and I really like this indeed. The last part of December is just pretty much so somebody's gonna really kind of going to give you kind of important advice, very kind of like really something you're gonna be told something, you know, and this is going to help you so much to understand the situation that you are in. But it's someone who is in your life and someone who is inspires you so much, and it's somebody who is going to confirm pretty much so the certain direction that you have found yourself at. Okay, very important. Okay. Okay, so now my gorgeous Piscelini, I'm just going to see what's going to happen to those of you in relationship. My lordy lord, you know, very important family matter you're going to need to discuss here. You know, it looks like one of you will want to do something, but another one of you, the couples, you know, it's just going to be maybe like a little conflict, because one of you is going to have enough, like nothing to do with each other, like, or not enough of each other. But I think when it comes to like, you have found yourself in a certain halt and a certain blockage, and at the same time that blockage that you have found yourself at is just basically kind of like stopped you from doing what you want to do. So this is going to resolve in a very big and important family matter to be resolved. You need to remember this is very, very important indeed. So that family matter, it's just basically first 10 days, this in itself, it's going to be very specific, very highlighted. But then, you know, I do see that at the same time you're going to come up with some kind of agreement, because, you know, by the time you get to the actual last part of December, it looks like one of you, you or your partner is going to rejuvenate you. Your partner is going to kind of play an important role when it comes to your personal awakening, because they will remind you, you're going to remind them that it's time for you to go on this next step in your life. This is more important than ever, because it's going to require from you both to make certain adjustment, but it's going to bring so much of possibilities of new relationships when it comes to meeting really important people. And also by the time the end of December comes, you know, the way out of the situation that was slowing you down is just kind of going to be resolved, purely because you will have new approaches to the actual old problems that have been slowing you, both of you, down. So the certain experience, realization and crazy confirmation that you're both going to find quite super beneficial, it's going to become quite evident. So most certainly you're going to have a really important moment when it comes to moving on with your life. For those of you, my gorgeous Piscelini, that are single and ready to mingy, this is not going to be the time when you're going to meet the love of your life. But what is actually going to happen here, you know, a bit of a complex situation. You know, somebody already caused you a bit of it's the karma mama that you're going to need to deal with. And you know what you do, karma mama, you just cut it out of your life. Ciao, Bella. You know, you just cut out your karma mama out of your life. You see, this is important. And when you realize where the karma is, and it's like normally to do with something that doesn't work with you, or something that doesn't work with your specific energy and vibration, and something came to an end. So the same, my gorgeous Piscelini, you are going to see that someone created an emotional confusion, and you need to go through this before someone walks into your life. But it's either you had a bit of like a stranger in the night, Piscelini in the morning, stranger in the night, Piscelini in the morning. You either had that with someone, or maybe you just had a little kiss with someone, or maybe you just had a very strong like kind of connection with someone without kissing, without talking, without doing anything, without even like having any relationship, whatever. But maybe you've just been seeing someone and you would just keep on looking at each other, and there's something happened. But then this is the emotional confusion that I'm talking about, because you're going to realize that it's either someone that you've been with, or you've just kind of met not that long ago, and it's over, especially within the last maybe 5 months, that there is something not quite right about that person. That person is not meant to be there. And I'm sorry, this is just going to create an obstacle in itself, and without even realizing, you will realize that this person is not part of your life. So this is the specific moment that you're going to have. Or maybe you haven't even had anyone like that you fancied so far, and maybe it's going to happen within the first like few days in December. Maybe it's going to happen within the first 15 to 20 days in December. The bottom line is, you need to karmically go through this. It doesn't really matter, because by the time you get to the end of December, you will learn something so specific. There is a very important lesson that you're going to learn. That person, how you going to know that there is something not quite right about that person? Because something is just, no, baby, no, I do not like this person whatsoever. Something naughty, something maybe a little bit dark, like in their energy. Something is going to come up, like they want to maybe use you for something or something like that. So you just need to be really careful. So it's either someone that you had something with, or it's either someone that you might have a little bit of kissy with, and then you're going to realize, no baby, no. The bottom line is that is going to be obvious by the end of December, and then you're going to have the chance, the opportunity to let that person go. And this is when the magic is going to start, because if you do it, you did your karmic job perfectly. And so when January comes, the new year of 2022, you can start moving on in the right direction, following that karmic lesson that you've just learned. So this is why it's so important, so the right and relevant person can walk into your life. Okay, my gorgeous Piscelini, I love you all so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Piscelinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you all. Bye.